Oh, I think I forgot to change something. Let me edit this real quick. Yeah, it still says Fractalis. Damn it. My bad. That's alright, we're good. Yeah, we're live. We're live. Where did I put that AMA thumbnail?
I don't know.
Y'all hear that beeping?
No.
Alright, good.
Hold on.
Y'all hear that beeping?
You gotta turn your speakers off, honey.
I was wondering where that came from.
Okay.
Yeah, I just did that. I forgot it. Alright, everything sounds straight.
Everything's good. Alright, we are live.
Drifty's just gotta put the right thumbnail on.
Yeah, I'm looking for the right thumbnail.
Oh, there it is.
I found it. That way when people see it, it doesn't say yesterday's thing. Alright. Let's share some links. The daily stuff you have to do for these live streams. That's why I make individual videos and post them too. Because they're slightly less, I guess, fluff.
Which ones you prefer?
What, live stream or video?
Yeah.
I like both types of content because you get different audiences. I think ever since I've been live streaming more, I think it's done way better for like the channel and whatnot.
I prefer live streaming personally.
Live stream's probably a little bit better overall.
When you make a video, there's a lot more work behind, like, to getting it out there, and you're of course tempted to edit it because you can, and that's a lot of work.
Right. All right, let's start a little recording. How's it going, everybody? I'm Drifty from Driftwood Gaming, and I'm joined with T.
What's up?
And Corey Davis. Toronto Gaming is here. How you doing, Toronto?
What's up?
So, Corey...
I'm doing alright.
Good. Corey's been backing us and supporting us on Patreon and paying for some like free tips and tricks for everybody. And we've already put out a few of them. And in today's episode, it's going to be AMA. You can ask us whatever you want. Not saying we're going to answer anything, but we'll answer if we feel like it. And if you have any questions that might be a good idea, something to work on for the stream, feel free to mention that in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to show off the latest tips and tricks that I've been working on.
Corey was about to tell us something at the beginning of the stream, and I'm still waiting to hear it. So.
Oh, right. Okay. What were you guys talking about? How Corey found
the
community?
So check this out. I did a lot of searching, right? And just about every single video I went by said maybe y'all's and one other person. It's like all of them stopped posting any type of videos or anything, basically anything on their channel for like 2 or more years.
Yeah.
So y'all just happened to be the like the first one I had seen. Well, the first one I had seen that was like doing something. I believe when I first saw y'all video, I think y'all was talking about the ADJ. I don't know if y'all had just started it or y'all think y'all was talking about it. That's when I first saw y'all video.
Probably.
So I watched y'all videos for a little bit. And that's all. That's how I came around.
Right
so y'all had a Discord and hopped in.
That's awesome. Well, we're glad you're here, Corey.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, everybody has their own story. Some people have been making games for years now. But I love how, especially now that RPG Maker's coming out to different consoles and it's just getting a bigger name. So it's always been real small and kind of niche. But it's gradually getting more reach around the world as more and more people are becoming connected and researching and finding that there's ways that they can create games for like not that much, you know. You don't have to have a bunch of people working for you, and you don't have to have a huge studio. You just kind of got to learn all the things and wear all the hats.
Yeah.
So in this tips and tricks, what we're doing right here, I was tasked to have a large party, but also summon turrets. So in this, I'm using a few plugins. We're going to go over the database and the plugin manager, but I just want to show it off first. So I've given everybody the summon turret skill, and it's going to summon up to 5 turrets. And these turrets are actually acting as party members. So We've got these animations. It seems like I've got it muted. Maybe I can unmute that. There we go. Should be kind of quiet, but let me know if the sound is off or anything. So we've got 5 turrets now, and this art is by T. She drew these in Clip Art Studio, I think, and put them in GIMP.
Those abominations.
I made a skill called Repair Turrets, which will restore all of the HP of your turrets and bring them back to life. I also have some other skills from other tips and tricks, but we're going to showcase the turrets in this one. So I'm just going to have my party members guard. The turrets are artificially controlled, and they have 2 moves. The first move they have is Automatic Blaster, and the second one is a Weapon Unleash. So Automatic Blaster is like a medium strength melee attack or ranged attack. It's like a machine gun. And then the Overcharge is a 20% of the time that Weapon unleashes using another Yanfly plugin and causes it to deal more damage. Like it activates a secondary skill. So instead of using your Automatic Blaster, it does what did I call it? Overcharge or something like that. Of course, we're fighting Thanos. We got to be fighting Thanos.
Yes. It's inevitable.
Yeah, so we have Snap. And you can see that I'm only giving the commands to the party members. The turrets are automatically controlled. That way it doesn't feel like the player has to put in so many inputs. And it like, you give a little bit of command for your large party, but then you summon units that will fight for you and save you the spamming work of pressing B button or enter or clicking. If your turrets do take damage, I made a skill to repair them, and I'll show how I did all of this stuff. Let's go ahead and kill this guy with another miscellaneous skill. It'll just instantly end the fight. And I want to show you that even though this added party members, so you saw we did the little flash and it did repair on all of these turrets, and then we did a summon move that just ended the fight. So we had 10 party members, but if you go into formations now, you see that we only have 5. And that's because we're using a parallel process to remove those party members. Check if you have those party members and remove those party members. So what would you need to make some kind of turret system like that? Some plugins. So let's look at what plugins you need. Core Engine, Battle Engine Core. I always recommend action sequence packs 1, 2, and 3. A lot of the things you saw were action sequencing, but you don't necessarily need action sequencing. You will need row formation and the party system. So you're going to need party system and row formation. Target core also helps with another skill, so I recommend as well the target core. So if you read through these help files, gives you a sense of what it's for and some of what it can do, and then you have all these parameters that you can manipulate. Corey, if any time you have a question, you could just cut me off and ask your question, and I'll
whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now check it out. Now before you say something, I was just shutting up and just waiting to see, because I said maybe he's gonna answer what I was about to ask. So in that case, I don't know if you're gonna get to it then. So let me ask you this: okay? Now I ain't gonna lie to you. I was trying to do something, and I got it able to like summon a party member going through common events. But how the ways you got it, there was nowhere in the world mine ain't look like that. Put it that way. Mine ain't look that like that.
So I was
trying at.
Go ahead.
And I was gonna say I was trying to see how, I was trying to get the one party member able to get summoned. Well, how was I gonna make it do battle like AI? I tried a couple of things, mess with the Yanfly plugins, but I still couldn't get it to work that way. So I'm pretty sure you're gonna go over it later in the video. Yeah. But I am kind of curious to know how you did all that.
Okay, yeah, that's in the characters, and how you make that happen is there's a trait inside the classes. Let's see, here's the classes. Where did I put it? Did I put it on the actors? I put it on the actors? Hold up. Classes, turret. No, I put it on the classes. Okay, so if you go over here to traits inside the classes, if you want it to be an auto battle, like an AI to control your unit so you don't have to command them, it's over here. You click on this, you go to other, and you're going to go to special flag. And in this special flag drop down, there's this other thing called, wait, no, shit, it's not that. It is, oh yeah, it is special flag, auto battle. It's auto battle. Had a brain fart. Okay, so special flag auto battle. And once you have that, any character actor that has this class is going to automatically attack, and that's pretty cool.
Okay, so okay. Yeah, I was doing the little thing out the Yangfly plugin, but I was putting it on the actual actor itself, like in a note box. So that's why I was messing up at.
Right. You might be able to do that, but I know that if you look at the help file, it'll tell you what order, like that it looks. So if you can put it on anywhere on that order. So the way that you were thinking might work too. I haven't tried it though, but it should tell you on the help file. This is the way that I have chosen to make that happen. There are many ways to do a lot of things. So there's no particularly right or wrong way, and I wouldn't say that the methods that I've chosen are the best ways. They're just a way to make it work, you know.
But some you got to work, and I definitely couldn't get it to work at all. So, yes, that's all I can really say about it, sir. I couldn't get it to work at all.
Right. So you saw that we were able to summon 5 turrets. If one of those turrets were to die, then they disappear, but like they're actually still there, and they can be brought back to life using a skill. So I want to look at that skill. I put another skill in called repair turrets, and gave it a name, a description, a skill type, a scope. I set it to the user, so whoever summons the turret is the user, whoever repairs is the user, so you don't have to have a specific target, especially if one doesn't exist yet. So you can repair turrets at any time, but all it's doing, besides playing an animation, is calling a common event. So when you use a skill, you can have it call a common event too. So let's look at that one. Repair turrets, this one's easy. I'm using change state, and then the change state is for each turret. So I have 5 different turrets, so that's 5 different actors. So it's checking inside this common event if turret 1 is currently under the effects of knocked out. Like, so if turret 1 is actually no, this is just changing it. This isn't a conditional, I'm sorry. So this is just removing knockout. So this is a resurrection. I need more coffee. This is a resurrection. So this is like if any of the turrets are dead, they come back to life, and then this is a healing them up. So if any turrets are damaged, it restores them 10,000 hit points. So when you use that skill, it does all that, even in battle. It doesn't really play an animation besides the first one. But I was trying to figure out how to make it do an animation. But when you do that on a common event, I ran into some issues because it wants to play an animation as if it was on the game screen, not inside the battle menu. But we're calling this common event when we're inside the battle scene. So yeah, anyway, I think the best way to go through this after I showed it off was the plugins first. We went over the plugins, core engine.
You have a question?
Action sequence pack.
Devoted Bastion.
Devoted Bastion, how you doing? Is the auto battle flag programmable? Like if you wanted to make percentages that determine the actions of the turret? I don't think so. It's pretty much just set it and forget it. But there might be a plugin that gives you more control to Devoted Bastion. I don't know about that for sure.
Yeah, not with that one. That's what I was getting with the Yangfly plugin about the auto battle. He got 2 separate plugins for auto battle. He got enemy auto battle, and then something else up on that's auto battle.
Yeah.
And they say with that one, he said that the second one they use the same commands as the top one. That's what I was messing with, and I couldn't. Like I said, I couldn't get my the only one thing I was able to get to summon. I couldn't get that to do anything auto battle wise. I had to still keep manually controlling it. And since he had asked that question, that was gonna be my next one. Was like say for instance I get a turret like 20,000 skills. Does it do like with the enemy thing when you go in and set up your enemies? Like does it go through those like the list like that or?
Right. As far as what skills it uses.
Yeah.
When you have the auto battle tag on to answer both of your questions, it pretty much determines it will randomly attack. It will randomly use the skill. I don't think it uses items, but it may. I'm not 100% sure. It would be really cool if you could like put in note tags to say, auto battle attack 60%, and then it used basic attack 60% of the time, or like you can customize it. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know of a way to do that. The other plugin you were talking about sounds to me like you were referring to Yanfly's boss AI control or something like that, and that only applies to enemy battles. So because it's an ally, you're not really writing it in the enemies tab. So that plugin looks specifically in the enemies JSON file for.
And that was the reason why I couldn't get it to work.
Yeah, it's looking for like special enemies, not so much actors. So yeah, that's the downside, I suppose, because when you use special flag auto battle, they're basically going to do their normal attack and use skills. So how you get around that, let me show you the beautiful method that I use to get around it causing a problem. I'm using a Yanfly plugin called Weapon Unleash, and that is another one that you may want to get, YEP_Weapon Unleash. Really, really easy to just copy paste one of these note tags. So to make a long story short, I put that in, and I'm replacing the basic attack. So when you use replace attack and then you give it whatever name you want, the character, the auto battling character will never use their default attack again because you're replacing it. Their normal attack now says automatic blaster because I told it to be this skill, and it's as long as you've given a skill named that, you can call it whatever you want. If I change the name of this skill, I also have to change the way I'm referencing it over here. But I made a skill, and so now whenever this character would automatically AI attack, it's using automatic blaster. And so this skill will happen when it decides that the auto battle should do a normal attack. So that was one way to manipulate it.
Okay, so if I get a turret like 5 different skills, it's gonna randomly choose in between those skills, though, right?
Yeah, it will. You can also make it so that one skill becomes something else half of the time. That's the next thing I wanted to talk about on Weapon Unleash. So we know that our basic attack will never happen. Instead, it will always default to automatic blaster. But what about if automatic blaster also had a 20% chance to become a new skill called overblast? So it's going to use automatic blaster every time, because it only has 2 things it can do. I only gave it one thing, automatic blaster, so it's only going to try to use this one thing over and over and over. If I wanted to do something else, I could give it more skills, as long as the character also had that skill type. For example, if I gave it this automatic blaster, which is a special type, but it doesn't have special, then it would never be able to use automatic blaster, because it doesn't know special skill type. It only knows magic. I'm going to give it special, but it doesn't matter because this is AI controlled, and it's going to use its basic attack. So really, it didn't need that there at all. It can use automatic blaster automatically because I'm replacing its basic attack with this skill. And this Weapon Unleash, when it's directly on a class, it means every attack that this character makes. Since we're only attacking with this one, then every 20% of the time, so like every 5th shot, he's going to overblast with 20% there. And you can give him multiple skills in here. So I can say automatic blaster, and then give him the skill type. So we'll say copy paste this, change this, so that he has specials and magics. He's got different skill types. So he could actually cast this from the skill list or from his basic attack now. If I wanted to give him another skill, depends on how I want that skill to trigger. Do I want him to just pick a different skill? Then I would just give him another skill right here, level 1 or whatever level he starts at. He gets another skill, and then it can randomly pick that at whatever percentage the game sets it. I don't know if it's a 50 split. I think your character will auto attack 50% of the time and then use a skill the other 50% of the time. But that's just my guessing, and I haven't done any actual research or tests on that. Hey Alex, how's it going, Alex?
Say, look, I got to answer the question. Say, so real Tron, bro, you really think I'm in the mob? I really had to ask on that. So look, he gonna answer, but look, So it's just like setting up a regular really. I can just put the skill, and with the way you got it set up, it's gonna cycle through those skills. You know, do it whenever it feel like it.
Yeah, it's
Which is
gonna be
actually
random.
which is actually what I had. Wow, this dude said I thought it was really. I thought it was oblivious. Crack me up, try. Nah, trying. Look. For real though, son. I really just travel across the country, and like I said earlier, man. I really make sure that everybody got what they need, especially in the situation that we in. But
Yeah.
so back to the skill. So I put the skill in, and it's gonna do just like I act. I don't have to choose them. It's gonna pick it up, and that's actually what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Right.
kind of just want the turrets to be like, you know what I'm saying, their own thing. And it was just like, they really know about the summon skill, but they doing like their own thing. That's kind of what I wanted from it already.
Yeah. So I'll put together like a more comprehensive tutorial for people after the stream. I'll like record it real quickly and like try to get information, next point, next point, next point, quick as possible because people like that sort of content. But I also wanted to put it out on the live stream to look at it in more detail and people can ask more questions and more specific questions.
And with the leveling, do the turrets level with the character, or do they level separate?
That's up to you to decide that. I mean, the way that it's set up in the game right now, they're just gonna level. They're gonna get experience, just like the party's gonna get experience. They have because their stats are based on their class, which in class I created like a basic class for the turret, so that all of the turret actors will be like the same class. So you can decide how much hit points, magic points, attack, defense, all their stats. You can also decide how much experience they need to level up in the experience curve. Um, and you
So
can,
as long as they, I was gonna say as long as they in the battle they get EXP.
yep.
Like if all right, that's cool then. That's cool. That make a little bit more depth to it. That's cool.
Another
I like
idea,
that.
yeah, I thought it was pretty cool too, because your turrets will level up if you're using them. Another thing you can do is you can make them level up even if the player doesn't summon them at all. And I think you go into the system. Let me find it. It is. This is what this button is for. Okay, EXP for reserve members. For a while, I was like, "What does that even mean?" But like, eventually I learned what this button does is it means all of your characters are gonna level up even if they're not in the party. So say you've got room for 4, but you have like 10 party members. When you win a fight with 4 guys, all 10 of them are gonna get level up or experience if you have this checked. But if this is not checked, then only the 4 that were in the fight are gonna get stronger.
Now, are they with the EXP? Is it divided among the characters, or is just everybody get like, say you with 2,000 with like 4 people in your party, everybody
Uh,
gonna keep in that 2,000?
I forgot. I think everybody gets that amount, but we can test that. We can test that right now. So let's see. It's a good question, just generally. So I have 5 party members. Let's start a battle with I don't know a bat. Let's create a new event and
Like now I know like to like especially like the real Tron over there. I know some of these questions may be like, nah, you should know that. But nah, son, like I really just started messing with RPG Maker but maybe 2 months ago now. So I got a lot of stuff that y'all know. I just don't know at all. At
that's what I
all.
was saying
So I'm
earlier.
still learning.
Earlier at the beginning of this video, I was saying I like how so many new people are picking up RPG Maker. Like it's spreading around, and I mean obviously that's good for me because it's sort of the thing that I've kind of been doing. It's such a selective thing. It's just such a interest. Okay, anyway, shut up.
Nah, so you should keep talking. I'm curious to know. I'm curious to know how OG or RPG Maker think about everything.
I've been using RPG Maker since I was just a little kid, man. Like when it first came out, um, I was like shocked that I could make my own game. I was like, I can make my own game. I love playing these types of games.
I remember feeling that way.
I'm like, I'm gonna make my own game, and so I wrote all kinds of like storylines, and they were basically like visual novels. The games that I hate to beta test now is like my first game. It's just all talking, not understanding the numbers really. But I mean, that's everyone's first deal, That's everybody's first foray into it. Soiree. adventures.
Like, see, like with me, let me see, I remember back when we had Blockbusters. I remember seeing like on the little thing for the first PlayStation RPG Maker,
Uh-huh.
and I was wondering should I get it, and I was wondering like, oh, is it like a game or what? You know what I'm saying? I had a friend of mine. It was like, I'm gonna say friend, a partner of mine. He was saying that you can make your own games and stuff. And I was looking at him like, nah, you lying. That man lying to me.
He doesn't know what it is. He's making it up.
Don't you wish you had gotten
But-
it back then, Corey?
I know, huh? I really do. I ain't gonna lie, it probably would have saved me a lot of trouble in life.
Yeah. I could say the same about, if I'd had a hobby young.
T's got some stories of breaking into cars and some stuff.
No, look at T. Look at T.
I was a bad kid. I was a really bad kid. I'm surprised I didn't wind up in jail. You know what? I almost did. But I moved from the state and they didn't want to extradite me, so I ended up dodging jail, thankfully.
Man, you got off lucky, bro. My state said screw that. They happily extradited me.
Oh man.
It said screw that. They
They
happily
sent me-
brought me back. 3,000 miles.
Oh
Damn.
man, that's crazy. They sent me a fine though. They convicted me without me being down there in the state of gang activity, and sent me a fine of $800. I remember having to scrounge to pay that. I was only
Really?
17.
So you had to pay an $800 fee for being in a gang
Yeah.
at 17?
Yeah.
Well, hey, so well, look, T, I got somebody I don't like. Oh, you think you can take that call from me?
No. I'm a reformed woman.
So yeah, to answer that question, you get the full experience. Like, doesn't matter how many party members you have and how many you have. Everybody gets the full amount. So I guess it makes sense if you, I don't know, like if you want all your party to level at the same time, just have a share experience on, which is
Then see,
on
that's
this button.
that's gonna add I don't know. See now it make me wonder how I want it, cause doing it the way where only if you're in the battle you get EXP, and then on top of that, inside the battle it's distributed among your the characters that's in battle. Remind me of Star Ocean.
Yeah.
So and then if you do it that way, everybody just get it regardless. I don't know. To me, it add more depth into it, just depending on like. I don't know. I got to decide on how I want it to go.
Yeah, no, I have that same conundrum. I'm like, I don't know which is actually better. It's kind of like a stylistic choice almost. Growing up, a lot of the games I played always distributed the experience. So if you got 1,000 and you had 4 party members, everybody got 250 instead of like all of them getting 1,000. But
Yep.
But in this system, how it's set up right now, whatever experience you reward right here on the enemy box is what everybody gets in the whole party if you have this button, experience for reserve members checked. Otherwise, it only goes to the people who are actually fighting in the combat. If you want your turrets to level up equally with the player, then it would make sense to have it checked, though, because then even if you don't summon them and you kill something in like one round, your turrets will get leveled up. So like you don't get to a boss and you're level 20, but your turrets are like 15 because you didn't use them in every single fight.
Then let me ask you this: is there a way to differentiate? Like, say for instance, I want just like say if I got 8 main party members, I want all those 8 to get EXP, but I want my turrets to level up as I use them, as far as EXP wise go. Is there a way to differentiate that way?
I don't know, because right now the way that we're handling it is the turrets are party members. So it's asking to differentiate turret party members with regular party members. And
I guess you can double. Well, I guess you can. I'm pretty sure Young Fly got a plugin that you can differentiate on how much EXP you want for a level, though, right?
yeah, to set how much. Oh yeah, I know what you're saying. Like change the curves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can do that right here inside of classes, this experience curve. But also you can set up a custom equation with the Yanfly plugin. It's called self param character param something. I don't know. There's like 300 plugins. Something parameter, self parameter plugins.
Cause like, say for instance, you get one turret like at the beginning part of the game. I think it'll be nice if you can make that. Well, let me ask you if I go on with that one. Can you set a certain level cap for each turn?
Yeah, you could. You could definitely set a level cap for any character, and that might be in the core engine as well. Let me just check that plugin. That's a good question. How do you set a level cap? That's a good question. So parameters, max level right here is 50. So based on just the default, you can set the default to be whatever you want. Right now it's defaulting to the highest level you can go is 99, and this is all in the core engine plugin parameters. However, I know that there's also like a note box tag that you can put in that will make it specific. So say you want all your actors to go to 99, but you want your turrets to cap out at level 50 or something. You could do that.
Okay.
Right here. I found it. It's called max level. So we're going to copy this max level with Control C. And then that's an actor note tag. So we put that right here. Boom, actor. And so max level 50. So if I take this max level note tag and put it on all the turrets, then essentially all the characters can go to level 99, but the turrets can only go to 50. And like, I don't know if I'm going to keep that. That's just an example.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know if I keep it like that either. Cause I was thinking like, with the turrets going to like, I don't know, level 50 or something like that, you level 99. Say for instance, you know what I'm saying, you like me, and you got some bosses that they are stupid OP. And when they just gonna one hit every turret. And I was kind of thinking about putting like a cooldown on the turret so you just can't keep, constantly summoning. You got to, choose like how you want to and so on and so on.
Right.
And okay. I was thinking like, yeah, that'd be. So I just got to mess around with it and then figure it out how I want it.
I'll show you how to do that too. That's another good question. I'm gonna remove that 50 cap because it makes sense towards the end of the game. If you do take it that far, your turrets are gonna be underpowered and they're not gonna be as helpful. So I'm gonna remove that level cap, but it was just for example.
Yeah. No, I got you.
The next question you said is stop them from spamming. There's a skill timer, skills cost items, skill timer.
Yeah, and all that.
Plugin. Let me find it plugin. So let me go to game, open folder, and then find the Yanfly collection. And I'm just gonna look for the plugin. I forgot what it's called exactly.
All right, then while you looking for it, I was gonna say, cause with the way I was thinking about it, having a turret. Like being able to spam out the turret, if it's killed one turn, you can bring it back out the next turn. I was like, well, that's kind of OP because I can make, what I'm saying, obviously I can set up a turret, whatever the case may be, and have it to a point to where the turret can can literally win the battle for you by itself. That's cool and all, but if the turret just, when it get destroyed, you can bring it back out with the whole point of having the rest of the party. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's one thing I was thinking about too. And that's why I've been looking through a lot of Yanfly plugins, just taking my time out, just reading them all and all this, that, and the third, trying to see how I can, make stuff that I'm looking for. Because I noticed with this plugin, like you said before, you can basically do anything in the game with those plugins without having to write your own code.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's there's so many. I love the engine because you can use plugins, and there's so many plugins, especially some really well-made ones by a few really, really good people. Specifically Yanfly, but Mog Hunters put out a lot of good ones, for sure.
Son, I cannot read Mog Hunter stuff. I had to copy and paste all this stuff and then translate it.
It's in Portuguese, yeah. I just put copy paste to Google Translate and try to get the best English version you can find, because it's still hard to read. People keep asking me, when am I going to make more tutorials on Mog Hunter stuff? I'm like, I can barely understand Mog Hunter stuff because it's not even in English. But there's good plugins. I use them. I've used several of them. I like the graphic, the GUI. Like they have really, really good particle effect drawing sprites on the screen. Mog Hunter has made some good plugins.
Yeah, download the demo. I don't know if Mog Hunter a female or male, but I downloaded the demo though. I ain't gonna lie, I like the way the demo looking. I just can't read none of stuff, so I don't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
And I can't find no nobody's like explaining those things, nothing like that. And I said, well, I can't read Portuguese or Spanish for that matter. So I said, hey, I'm gonna stick with Yang Fly.
Yep. So I found the
All
class-based
right.
parameters. That's one of the plugins. But I'm still looking for the other plugin that I was trying to find. There's so many, man. Do you remember the name of the plugin, honey?
What are you looking for again?
It adds timers,
You have 1 hour
skill
50
timers.
minutes of
Like a
drive
cooldown?
time.
Yeah, skill cooldowns.
Yeah,
I
there
literally
we go.
found it. There we go. All right. I could just copy paste all the plugins in there, and I've done that in the past, and that saves you sometimes, but
Plugins aren't that big, so it's totally
yeah,
doable.
but then it gets real messy too in my own like the one I'm working on. See, look, this is simple.
Yeah.
Apparently I already had it. I already had it where it needed to be, like a boss. Skill cooldowns. It's actually underneath the skill core, so I had it on and inside the whole time. But that's fine. I'm not gonna worry about that. Moving on. This is one of the plugins. You said you didn't want them spamming the skill to summon turrets over and over and over because it makes your party obsolete. So you can go to this plugin, copy this little cooldown note tag inside the Yanfly engine plugin expansion skill cooldowns, and then we put that inside the summon turret skill. So how long should we make them wait before you summon it again? I don't know, 3 turns, 4 turns, 5 turns. And then probably we'll put another cooldown on the repair turret as well. So you can only use it every, I don't know, we'll start with 3. We can move it back if we feel like it's still too strong.
Now look, this is what I was wondering. With the okay, since technically it's summoning an actor, can you put like a cooldown on, as in like I summon an actor, but I want to stay in for like 3 turns?
And then you want the actor to just disappear?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could do that. Maybe a passive state? Let's see. Yeah, passive state. Buff states core. Yanfly's buff states core. That's a good question. How would I do that? Common event and buff states core. So, yeah. Okay, let's go to the common event that's happening when we summon a turret. So add turret. What's happening? We're summoning a party member, but then we also need to add a state to the party member. So if turret 5 has been added, then we want to change state. We'll have to make a new state. Not a big deal. We're just going to use a state and a buff states core. I'll find it.
Because I was thinking like I have a summon for like 3 turns, they disappear after the 3rd turn. When they disappear the 3rd turn, instead of having a cooldown for like 5 turns, add a little bit more depth to it. So you have to, instead of just saying, okay, in 3 turns, I just summon them again.
Right.
You're like, well, I can't you know what I'm saying?
Right. So you summon them for 3 turns, but then the cooldown is 5 turns. So you have to rely on your party for a couple turns before you can use all your turrets again.
Yeah.
I like that. That's really good. It's a balancing. It's like a checks and balances. All right, let's do something like that. I think we could do that, no problem. So let's paste this in here. Check turret 2, and what am I doing? Add knockout? No, I don't want to add knockout. Do I want to change state?
Because I mean, I don't mind having the party OP, but I don't mind making them too OP, because I ain't gonna lie, my enemies, they are stupid OP. But at the same time, I don't want you I'm putting a lot of effort into the characters. I ain't gonna lie to you, I want you to, you know what I'm saying, you got to pick and choose on some of the skills like that you be wanting to use at this particular time.
So
I don't plan on nerfing the skills themselves. I just want you to, you know what I'm saying, sometimes you have to think.
No, I know what you're saying, because you can add 1 skill that makes 5 skills useless. And so you have to watch out for that. And that's what you're saying, like balance everything. You absolutely have to watch out for that and like pay attention to what you're adding, because if you add a skill that throws like 1,000 fire damage, but you had a skill that did 500, you made your other skill obsolete. And there's so many ways to make your skills worthless because you find the best skill, you spam that skill, and that's all the player ever does. So you want to find a good balance. What am I looking for? A new
Well,
state.
thank you, Sky Gaming. So look, let me ask you this. So I got a healing skill. I forgot what they called, but I remember what the other one's called. They called echoes, and I forgot what the other. I think it's just heal. Anyway, the regular heals they don't do anything outside of healing, but I made sure they heal harder. But the echoes they heal and they cast a regeneration effect that they for like 3 turns or whatever for their heals. But I got them healing lower. But they keep regenerating, you know what I'm saying, over time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was planning on topping in another heal that casts a barrier it heals and does a regeneration effect. But then I kind of figured that'd be I ain't gonna say OP, just I don't know if I should add that in as for a healer. But since when I start thinking about the turrets, I like, bro, I can add that to one of the turrets, bro. You see what I'm saying? So in a way, I don't want that particular turret like to make the healer obsolete. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what make me ask those type of questions right there. And I really don't want that turret to make the healer obsolete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I get it. We have to find a balance, and you'll change the numbers even if you're even when you're you think you've got it balanced, you'll be changing numbers to the last minute, trying to get it all balanced.
Yeah, I ran across a couple of those other things already.
So my thinking behind this setup is, how do we make the actors just disappear, leave the party after 3 turns? And the way that I'm thinking about it is we make a state, so when we summon them, they arrive with a state. And then that state will last for however long we want them to be summoned. We'll say 3 turns. At the turn end, duration goes down, and then we do a Yanfly Buff State's core code block that says, once this state is removed, remove this actor. But I don't have all the syntax in my head. I just have to figure out how to... I know what I wanted to say. I have to figure out how to type that.
Sounds like it would work.
Son, how you be figuring out this syntax stuff, bro?
He remembers it.
Well, no, I look it up.
He remembers it more often than he looks it up.
I gotta look it up.
He's very humble.
Help files. Scrubbing help files.
Can I be messing with some of Yanfly, the lunatic one?
Uh-huh.
I be like, bro, cause I was looking at some if you go to his tips and tricks and you read off some of his skills or whatever on there.
Code, yeah.
I look and I said, bro, yeah, son, how the heck did you figure this out?
Yeah. His lunatic mode stuff is crazy.
So I be trying different plugins, they help minions and stuff. I be trying to see what I can add in from other plugins, like try and get an effect that I'm looking for or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know Sky, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but I'm gonna say Sky Gaming. I know. Psycho?
Psycho game.
See, don't talk about me. No, but that's what I look. That's what I be saying, bro. That's why I'm curious to know how y'all OGs be thinking about these things, cause like I said, I just started, and I'm curious to know how y'all, you know what I'm saying, like what process y'all be going through, so I can try and get some type of hour to rub off on me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Surround yourself with people who know what they're doing, and you'll know what you're doing.
I've only seen you doing this for 2 months, and I think you're doing pretty well already.
Well, thank you, T. I don't think I am, but I appreciate it.
Nobody thinks they are. That's the thing. You're gonna look at this and be like, I'm getting nowhere, but you actually are making progress. You don't realize until you sleep on it and wake up.
Well, and I'm looking at you.
It's easier today than it was yesterday. This kind of thing magnifies over time.
Agreed.
I'm looking at you from an outside perspective too, and I've seen a lot of people start using RPG Maker, and I'm just going to tell you from an outside perspective, you're doing good.
Well, thank you, T.
What's that?
Your tablet is exploding.
My tablet is exploding?
Yeah. I think your battery's...
Throw it behind the couch.
I think so.
I think my battery's gonna explode on this thing.
Drifty's,
I had to send this thing back one time because
of the
it had a
battery.
recall on it. This is
Yeah.
my Shield tablet. Man, sorry, hold up. I gotta make sure I don't have a lithium ion explosion right here.
his
Taking
his
the-
Throw it behind the
tablets
couch.
his tablet's expanding. Is it the battery?
What's up, Echo?
Oh, you have a stylus in there.
Yeah, there's a stylus.
It is the battery. Look, it's puffed up.
It's not warm though.
No.
No. Echoes, why you leaving me, bro?
Here, you're gonna have to deal with that.
Okay.
Look at it. Throw it out the window if it starts to smoke. Yeah, if you puncture that, it will just.
Yeah, well,
It'll
I'm not gonna
blow.
function it.
It won't explode, but it'll like put off noxious fumes and gas.
It does look like it's puffing out though.
Yeah.
That's probably not good.
Maybe I should, I don't know, put that in the garage or something.
The-
Let's start a fire with this thing.
All right, moving on.
Drag, bro, you hear me smoking? My bad, son.
Oh, you just quit smoking, Drag? Good on you, man. Good job. It's hard.
It is hard to quit.
It's hard to quit.
I smoked
Drag.
I smoked cigarettes from the age of 12 to 22.
Damn.
Yeah.
My bad, Drag, bro. I don't smoke weed no more. I don't know if I can say that, but I don't smoke the green substance. All right, bet I don't smoke weed no more.
Mhm.
So since I don't smoke weed no more, son, I be on Black and Mild and cigarettes like crazy now, bro.
That's what would happen to me when I was younger. I smoked cigarettes and I'd quit the weed and smoke cigarettes, and then I'd quit the cigarettes and smoke the weed, and I'd flip flop back and forth constantly until finally I was able to quit it all. But it was hard.
Man, if I can smoke weed, bro, I just stay on weed, but I can't. I'm sorry, Tron. I can't smoke weed doing what I do.
All right, so let's see. The two skills that I made for the turrets are simple skills. You don't need a description. You're never going to see them. They're only used on characters that are automatically controlled, so it makes it easy to make them. I have them give a little bit of TP. If you want to make another skill that, like, it's a third stronger version and it requires TP, you can have the weaker version skills generate TP, and then after enough of using the weaker ones, they'll have enough to get a stronger attack, and it'll use a stronger attack and then go back to using the weaker ones to gain TP. So if I was going to do a third move, I'd do it like that. It'd be like the strongest move it's got, but it also would cost like 60, 70, 80, 100 TP. I think that's the next move I would go with that, as far as giving the third skill to the turrets. But working on this idea of having them only around for 3 turns, they split, and then you can't summon them again for another 5. So let's change the cooldown to 5 on summon and repair. And so now when they're summoned, let me go to the common event and finish that.
So every skill you gotta put the cooldown on that then, right?
Every skill that like is involved in like summoning turrets or repairing turrets, like you could put a cooldown on every skill if you want.
Oh no, I was mean like so, like the skills that they'll be using for the AI thing. I would have to put a cooldown on them too.
If you want them to not spam it, yeah, you can.
Oh no, they can spam whatever.
Then yeah,
Since they're gonna be chosen by AI.
The AI, yeah, you don't need to put a cooldown on those. It's for the player, so that the player can't spam the same thing.
And that's cool.
What I'm doing here in this common event, this is the common event that runs when you when you use the add turret skill. It checks to see if you have the first turret, and then if you do, it adds the first one, and then it checks to see if you have the next one, and until you have them all out there, and then it does nothing. And once they've all been summoned, it becomes obsolete. What I'm doing is I'm adding something to it. So now when it adds one of the members, it also puts a state on that member, like automatically. That's going to be our control. So when they appear, they have a state that's running out of. It's got a set number of turns. and then when that expires, when the state is done, we run a little bit of code.
Not, not like what one of the things that I haven't really spent a lot of time messing with would be with any type of events.
Uh-huh.
So I'm still messing around with them. Like when I was telling about how I managed to get just one person to summon, I was messing around with the common event. And that's how I got to summon it. But I mean, I can keep on summoning the common event, but it'll stack them on top of each other, and it'll put them into like the party list as though it was party. So you still had to choose everything and all that other stuff too.
Right.
I like the way you got it set up. Son, no one in the world would have figured that out.
Well, because I had to use a plugin for that. I used the party system. So that's why you were getting stuck, because it wouldn't let you have more than 4 in a party, probably. You add the party system plugin from Yanfly, and you go to the first parameter. It says max battle members. And then you change the 4 to however many you want at the most. And I put 10. And another problem I had was, like, they started drawing off the screen. So after I added this one, I had to do another one, so that they would draw in rows.
DJ Khaled.
Yeah, how you did that? Cause I had that problem too. I kept trying to mess with the axes and everything. I couldn't get nothing to do. Nothing. They would still show up as I can pick that one, but you would never find them on the screen.
Nah, they were like,
you know what I'm
way
saying?
Top off the screen. So that's why you have to do party system. You add this one on top of it. Oh wait, no shit. The row formations. We already did party system. After party system, you add row formation, and then you change this maximum rows to whatever you want. Really, I did 3 as a minimum. That way we have a front row for all the turrets. And then we have like a front row for the fighters and a back row for like the healers and the casters, but then we have the third row, which will be the first one actually. That's confusing for turrets. And the reason why it matters is because you set your default row to 1. But when you add this plugin, the first one is plug and play. You put party system in, you change this, and that's it. You don't have to do anything else for that. The next one, the row formation. You change maximum rows to 3, but then you have to do one more thing. You got to get one of these note tags, default row. You copy default row, and it goes in actor or enemy. So what I'm going to do is go to actor, and you'll see that I've set a default row note tag inside the actors for each actor. So Harold's default actor row 2, Therese is 2, Lucius 2, Drift is 3, and then we have row 1 are all the turrets. Now, when you split them up into rows, it's all of a sudden, it's starting to draw a little bit better. But still, there's a problem. It draws off the screen and too far. So it seems like it's drawing too far on the x-axis and too far on the y-axis. So we have to add some to it to bring it down. So this is a little trick, a little kung fu you have to do to make it draw properly. And you can manipulate these numbers that I'm about to show you and however you want, trial and error them till the party appears where you want. I threw in a rough number and saw where the party was, and I'm like, that's good enough, and I built around that. So let me find exactly what I'm talking about. In the row formation plugin parameters, you get a lot of information, like more than you're going to be able to digest. But what we want to do for row, for the maximum row Y, minimum row Y. All right, so look, just follow me. In the row formation parameters, you go down to position settings, and then you want to go down to maximum row Y. You double click that. Now right here, what you're going to do is keep the default value, but you're going to add a couple hundred pixels. So you're going to do plus 200. And so you just add that right there, plus 200. Then you go to the next one, the minimum row Y. You double click that. You keep everything the same, but you're going to add 200 to that as well. So what we did is we pushed everything down. Like it's drawing all of the stuff. It's not putting it off the screen on the top anymore. It's pushing it down 200 more pixels. And I want to illustrate this by removing it right here. So this is the way it'll look if you just kind of threw these in and looked at it.
Yeah, so cause I had went all into the code trying to take. Man, I did a lot of stuff.
This is probably what you're talking about, right? They're like all the way up here, off the screen. you can't see anything. Like, what? They're all there, but they're not there.
Yeah.
So to fix
I
this
even had.
stuff,
I was gonna say I even had Harold. He was standing on top of a table, and I said, "Come on, bro. Come on."
yeah. So once again, to fix that, you add the plugin row formations, and you go to the parameters, change your rows to 3, change the default to 1, go down to position settings, and on the maximum row Y, you just go space plus space 200. You can add more than 200 too. In fact, let's do that. Let's add 300 and see what it does. This is probably not going to be what we want, but it's good just to like see what happens when you change one number. And that's how I figured this out. I was going through all of this. I'm changing one number, running it, looking at it, taking that changes back, and then changing a different number by 100, seeing what happens. And then I found the one that did the thing I wanted it to do. So now if we add to those two in position, you see adding 300 puts them at the bottom. So I found 200 was really good. So we'll go ahead and put it at 200. But you got to see that. Neat little trick. Probably take somebody all week to figure out how to fix. I know, like, if it was me when I first started, I would have just took me weeks to months to figure out how to just get that simple thing. I'm sorry. What's that?
Some of these plugins, when I first started, I looked at them and went, nope.
Yeah, but now, like, I could just look at them and be like, well, I can tell you why. See, look, at 200, they look perfectly centered on the screen. And we don't have them disappearing yet, but let's see if they summon with a state. So we're summoning turrets, and we should have a cooldown of 5 turns. That cooldown should exist now. They have a state on them, so you can see that it's still there for 3 turns. I guess that's the timer. You can change that icon as well. Also, I put in a plugin. I can press shift, and it runs all the animations twice as fast. That way, everything kind of goes a little bit faster. We can repair the.
Say, how would?
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask. How would you move? How would you remove the icon off the turret?
Like if you just didn't want the icon.
Yeah, like to show the turns that they, show the turns on there that it's still sitting up though.
Like right
off
now,
the turret.
When they have a state on them, it'll show the state on them. You can make it so that the state is transparent. So if you go to states and you click on icon, and instead of picking an icon, you use the blank one in the top left, then I don't know if it'll show it. But let's find out.
But then let me ask you this: it'll be just like if I made a state and then just took the state off the actual state, the icon off the state itself, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cause I still may want some of them to show on like the character. Cause
Yeah,
I do got a
testing
skill,
it
and I
right
kind of
now.
noticed that kind of confusing.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I give it no. There you go. If you give it no icon, then it won't show the state. Like they'll still have it, but it won't show it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I'd rather just have that in the description.
The
If I can fit it
benefit
up though.
the benefit to having the number is you know how many rounds it's still gonna last. Right, because you said that you want them to disappear after 3 rounds.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I put it there by default because I thought maybe you see the 3, then the 2, then the 1, and then they disappear. But it's kind of like the player will learn that it'll be 3 turns after doing it enough because they have a cooldown.
Yeah, but at the same time, okay, like this. At the same time, I don't kind of want them to be like, after a while, be like, man, get that off the screen.
Right, it's taking up too much real estate.
Yeah. But at the same time, I do know if sometimes it'd be nice to know how many you got so you can plan your next, on your next move.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Do they have 3 rounds? I forgot. Did I just summon them?
Can't you put it Can't you put it next to the name down here instead? Instead of on the screen above their heads, couldn't you put it like next to their HP or something?
Well, I don't know. I mean, when you draw it, when you select one on the states tab, then it appears on top of the character and on next to them.
You can't do either or.
I don't think so, but maybe it's possible if you look inside the state core.
Yeah, maybe.
So we learned that we can remove it if you don't give it an icon. It won't show.
Cause,
Go ahead.
Cause okay, I'm using the battle. Well, I ain't got my laptop on me right now, but I'm using the battle thing where it put the pictures on the on your characters when you where you can select them in the battle menu.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been kind of looking at it because when you do the buffs and all that stuff, it takes over like you know what I'm saying the whole picture area. And I was saying to myself, I said, bro, after looking at some of the ADJs that's coming in, I like without the pictures though they look kind of you know what I'm saying they look good. So I'm really debating on should I have the pictures in there or not. If I don't have the pictures in there, the buff stuff should just go straight across the screen all the way to the HP board, right?
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I like the icons. So, like, I have a different opinion. I think I like to see the icons because it helps me, like, remember what buff it is. But at the same time, I don't want a lot of clutter on the screen. So, like...
Can you look in the states
Makes
car,
more
see if you
sense.
could do either or?
Yeah,
Might
let's
be,
look at the
might just be
plugin.
an option. Then you
Yeah.
can still display it, but it's not on the screen.
Mm-hmm. We have auto pass
Yeah.
states. Let's see, is this the one?
Yeah, y'all. I can't wait till you actually post on how you
Status
did
menu
it.
for?
But right now we're just asking a bunch of questions.
Yeah, that's good. Enemy icons. Show enemy icons true. Buff. Buff turn true. Enemy state turn.
True.
Enemy counter turn. It would be here. Show enemy icons.
Enemy icons?
Yeah, look, do you wish to show enemy state icons?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can remove them so that they don't have, like, the icon above their head when they're poisoned. Like, they'll still be poisoned, but you can take that off the screen by hiding it in here. So that's
What
another...
about this in counter settings? Scroll down.
Encounter settings?
Oh, is that as far
So it
down
says
as it goes?
counters.
Yeah, okay. I thought it maybe went further down.
I think it's for, like, when damage pops up.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Or, like,
Okay.
oh, no, counters. It's for the numbers. You can change the like, where it's drawn. Like, you can move it, buffer, X, Y. And change
Can
the
you
color,
put it up
too.
in the top right corner? Like, out of the way? But that, you know what, you wouldn't be able to...
What do you mean, draw a new GUI for your states?
No,
I'm not going to draw a new GUI for the states.
I immediately regretted saying that as it came out of my mouth, okay? Forget I said anything.
You know, that would look cool, though. I love your idea.
Nah.
But the thing is, like, that's a lot of work, man.
Yeah.
Drawing a new scene or drawing a picture and using it as a graphical user interface. I don't know. I mean, yeah, let's move on.
Well, look. Let me ask you this, cause I've been working on a plugin. I'm still messing around with it. The only problem I be having with it kind of conflicts with like some of the Yang Fly plugins and all that stuff. And since I am a noob, I don't know how to fix that. I mean, I kind of got an idea, but I done tried a couple of them and ain't none of them work. So, like, I had it to where you can set up the, you know, how you can move the screen around your bottom menu screen and all this other stuff. I got it to where you can do some stuff like that. And I wanted to add, like, the pictures, but like a little small slim picture. And I was thinking, because I was looking at the way the buffs and stuff, how they come across the screen, I'm like, I don't know if that'll be, if I, you know, so obviously if I go into the plugin and mess around with it, I can probably, you know, do something similar, hopefully without messing nothing up. But then I'm looking at with the way the buffs will come out. So I'm like, if you do it without the picture and you just leave it like with the way you got it set up right now for your battles, like got the names and then you got that big huge open gap. I think I don't know. To me, it just seemed like it looked better with just having just the names, have that big huge open gap, so the buffs can just go straight across that little gap right there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I like that idea. The buffs just kind of like show up. The buffs will just show up right here.
Yeah,
Instead of
in that whole little
character.
gap.
That's what I was saying.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're all
But
trying to come to the same conclusion, but we're like, how do you do that?
Yeah, how do you do that? That's the question.
cause I think that'll look tight too.
Yeah, that would look really cool. That way you have the information, but it's not all over the place.
Let's see if I can
Yeah.
get some states on us. Let's see. That'll do something. That'll do something. Summon this. Alright, let's get some states. So you see the states appear in between the name and the HP when you have a state on you. But they also appear on top of the character. So we can give
Nah,
it
that's Well, oh, wait. The one that's on top of the character, that's to a certain extent. Like, for instance, on mine, at one point in time, I had like 6 of them on at one point in time.
Yeah.
So you know they keep cycling through and whatever. That's kind of straight. But like I don't know if like when you like where you got the name show up. I mean, where the states show up, where the name of the HP bar is. I have yet to try without using that plugin and to see if it just make the whole line go across all the way to the name.
I think it
Like,
will.
and if it do, all right, and if it do that, does it overlap the name and the HP bar, or like how does that work?
I don't know. We'd have to put on like 15 states and see what happens. Let's do that.
Yeah, cause I ain't never tried it, and that's what I was wondering too.
That's just a curious question. Let's do that. Let's make a skill real quick. We'll give it a clover, and what it'll do is it's going to add poison. It's going to add like 10 states or something, and then enough to see what happens when you flood the menu with like all the states. And see
Because
what
with
it looks
that
like.
with the Yang Fly Battle status menu, they put the picture on now, but the states only go as far as the picture is, so they won't start like another row or nothing like that, and they'll just be there. And I ain't gonna lie to you, when you look at it that way, it look kind of cluttered.
Yeah. It looks like not everything has a place.
Yeah. Now the reason why I'm asking, the reason why I'm bringing that up, because I was kind of thinking about having a turret that do, you know what I'm saying, that do buffs and all that stuff too. And I know for a fact, for me just doing my own thing with it, I know, well, without the turret thing, but just doing like, for my characters, I know that's gonna be kind of a clutter, I ain't gonna say what I want to say, but it'll be like, it's gonna be cluttered.
Yeah. All states. Are you in good hands? That's the name of this skill.
Geico's a better deal, in my opinion.
Oh, you should have named it Geico and put a lizard on that sign.
Too late. It's already all states. I have to give this skill to somebody. This will be a certain hit. I guess I'll just give it random animation, say cast. And we'll give it to the professor. All states. It's gonna hit. We want it to be allies, so just put it on all allies. It'll be a bad time for the party member.
Mess over everybody, huh? If you got it, everybody else got to get it.
Yeah, check this out. Let's see what happens. Okay, so look, it's only showing 2. Look down here. It's only showing 2.
Huh.
Why?
That's weird.
What if I hit escape and go to formation? Nah, it doesn't show there. There's a plugin that shows more. Yeah, I don't have all the plugins in this little sample project, but you can see that it's showing like everything on the top. It's cycling through. But then down here, it's only showing like the 2 with the highest priority. So why does it only show 2? That's not what I want.
Yeah, if you put the Yang Fly Battle status menu thing on there, it's gonna show a list of them. I think how many buff stats is that? What is it? 7, I think it is.
Yeah.
It's gonna show, I think, 6 of them at one time.
Okay.
But it's covering over like the active face. Now you can move it up and down, yeah, but it won't start another row, because you can still put more buffs and most debuffs on than that, but it won't start another row. I think it do something similar to that one, except for just add that many states on them.
Let's see, MNOP, passive, party limit gauge. I'm looking for that plugin. Battle status. Is it X battle status? Battle statistics. Is that it?
Look. Hey, look. So Sicko say it's COVID-19. I said this dude crazy, bro.
Blind and silence and all of the best things. Is it battle statistics or is it something else?
Wait, for which one?
So it shows
the one I was talking about?
Yeah.
A battle status menu.
Alright. Copy this. Yanfly is crazy. He put out so many plugins.
Yeah, and I was been reading a lot of them, and like if you go through the code and all that stuff, they all, I mean, he pretty much manipulated every bit of the code that's in the game. I would dare say he did all of it.
He did a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Battle status window. Let's see.
Yeah. And it's gonna put everything horizontal with the pictures and all that stuff on.
So we got visual, actor switching, front view. There's an offset. Okay, let's just put it in and look and see what changes. Trial and error.
Yeah, that look like it.
Alright, let's see. Okay, whoa, yeah, that's... Because we have 10 party members, it changes your user interface. You can't see anything. You can't glean any information. They're so smushed up. But let's just see what happens.
Say summon a turret like that.
Alright.
Summon a couple of them.
Yep.
See what happens.
Let's
See if they
fire
add them
off,
in
see
there.
what happens. You know, that's fine. We could find another way to display HP if we like this format. So we're confused, blind, rage, charmed, poison, silence.
Son, trust me, that's a task in itself.
That's a what?
To find another
That's
way
a
to
tag.
display the HP.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you use that, it's a task, bro. It's a task. Then trying to keep up with the way your Yanfly got it set up. That's something for like you and Drift and all that. I mean Drag and all. I can't do that. I tried. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how to do it off the top of my head, but there's lots of HP plugins. Mog Hunter has an HP bar plugin, so I could find a way to get some additional HP bars on here. But I don't know. I don't like it too switched up.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Like if you change it to your standard 4 or 5 that you got, and then the pictures and everything get way bigger and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was gonna say that's mainly nothing more than like a quality of life on how to like. I ain't gonna say quality of life. That's what I guess the visual aesthetics of it.
Mm-hmm. The upside is it does cycle through all of the states at the bottom, as before it didn't. It just showed 2 randomly. Oh, another thing, I think it adds something else too. Hold up, when you press escape. I think you can like get a detailed explanation of all the states. Alright, let's just do
I don't know if it was the ADJ, but somebody had on one of their things when you move over the mouse cursor, it shows the status and give an explanation of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did that. That was cool. I liked that one. It was Damien Floyd, one of the judges.
I wonder if he had to go into like the actual thing under the cursor and actually make that.
Yeah, him. I think he paid someone to help him code that.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, that was tight.
Yeah. Wait, what am I doing? Oh, escape. Formation. Nah, it doesn't show. Must be another one. There's like another battle status plugin or something. I gotta find it.
Now check. Go back to your party. The party thing that you can set up the size of the party menu of the party people.
If you bring it down to 4, you can't summon your turrets because there's no room for them.
Yes. Okay. So that's what it'll do. All right. So that look like I'm gonna have to. Unless I can figure out how to mess around with this status menu plugin, I'm gonna have to do it without using it.
Yeah.
Cause I want the turrets. I can't. I want the turret.
Yeah, when it comes down to deciding what feature you want, you have to keep that party member, the party max battle members up to include however many turrets you want. If you want 5 party members and 5 turrets, you've got to set that to 10, and then if you do, it makes it look too scrunched up when you don't have the turrets out. So let me see, how did I... This battle status window. I'm going to just turn this one off for right now. But yeah. I mean, yeah, Toronto. Corey, you have any other specific questions? We've been going for a good hour or so. Well, that's probably a good AMA.
My bad, I ain't know it was that long.
It's all
I had
good.
something
This
else
is
I
what we
wanted to
normally
say.
do.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
Well, look, I kind of wanted to say, one, appreciate y'all welcoming me into the community.
No problem.
Two, uh, Tron, I'm not gonna lie to you, Si, I'm not in the mafia, bro. If you really want to know what it is that I do, bro, I drive trucks. So I'm a truck driver.
There you go.
Three.
The mystery is solved.
So three, I ain't gonna lie, I like RPG Maker. I've been seeing other things like really seeing what people can do, and
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy. I know it's a lot of like a lot of stuff that I can't do with it because I don't know how to do it yet.
Not yet.
But I was really yeah. But as I'm saying, I'm like, bro, it's crazy. Like it's really crazy. Look at Alexander Trusty Care. So anyway, just looking at it like, bro, it's really crazy on like how you can actually format like this 2D game into you can even make it into a 3D. You
Yep.
know, I wonder if you could even get it close to what Stars in the Second Story was 2D mixed in with 3D.
You can.
You know what
sure.
I'm saying?
Yeah. There was a game
That's-
that did that. It's called Evo Land. You start like 8-bit, like on like Nintendo Game Boy, and everything's black and white, and you're playing a little character, and then it's like green, and then you level up, and it gets to like Super Nintendo. It looks like Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, and it's like you have 16-bit now, and everything's a little bit more graphics, and the resolution changes, and as you level up and get farther in the game, it becomes into a 3D game, and like the game just like the graphics level up and change as you play through it.
Dude, that's crazy, bro.
They made
And
a sequel
since I know-
because it sold well.
And I know we've been going on a while, but I just wanted to say I can't wait to see this Twisted Trace, bro, cause
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
I'm gonna put everything we did in this hour into hopefully 10 minutes. Like I want it to be under 10 minutes because when you have a short, people look, how do you do this? How do you do that? If it takes 28 minutes, they're not gonna watch. A lot of people won't. So if it's 7 minutes, I'll tell you how to do the same thing in 6-7 minutes. They'll watch that 7 minutes and figure out how to do this list of things to make an outcome happen. Now there's like this particular format. I'll start it. I'll show what we're gonna make first. And then if you're interested and you want to learn how to make that, I'll show you how to do it as fast as possible. It seems to be
Oh
pretty
yeah,
good.
there's one more thing I wanted to ask you. Like for people like us, I'm pretty sure everybody else, but people like us that's in my same category as noobish, how can we like outside of Discord and then catching you on like YouTube and stuff, how can we like I'm not gonna say like personal like one-on-ones, but like how can we get like more depth explanation on things if you know how to do it, like from you?
DM.
Yeah, just private message me.
Yep.
Just
Alright.
stay in private messages with me.
He tries
and
to answer every message.
I typically read and answer all the messages. If you cold call me, I won't answer. I've had people do that. I don't answer cold calls. Like I don't mind voice chat every now and then, but I don't just like randomly pick up because I've got my baby. She's sleeping sometimes and other responsibilities. But I mean, yeah, just message me. Just keep me in the chat room, and you can, if it's a general question, ask an RPG Maker chat. But then if it's something more specific, you can ask me private message. I might tell you to go take it to the RPG Maker chat because it's just better if all of us are looking at this problem and trying to find a solution.
Mm-hmm.
There's like hundreds of people online, and a lot of them know a lot more than me in specific areas. And so yeah, like you're definitely gonna benefit from joining the Discord. Links in the description
Yeah,
below.
Discord's the absolute best way to get a hold of Drifty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look, one more thing before you go. I know it is a few more things that I wanted to say, but hold up.
I'll go for it. We got a minute. Baby's asleep. She's chilling.
Hold up. Say, okay, so the from what we had started off with, the beginning part of the video, I wanted to say I got my own theories about how things you know what I'm saying, about reasons to plan on what I was saying, but I keep them to myself. But I wanted to say, me being a noob, and I'm not saying, what I'm saying, something that everybody should do, take it as like, I'm saying, like the Bible or something like that. But I think that we should like like help each other out in the community. You know what I'm saying? Cause
Yeah,
it seems like to me just about everybody that watch, they all trying to like do their own. People may come just to you know what I'm saying, see what's going on or whatever the case.
yeah.
But I think we should like you know support each other in any way that we can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you
So
have been.
everything can just keep on moving.
Thanks, man. It's Corey Davis with a $50 super chat. Damn, dude.
Corey
Thank
Von
you
Davis.
again. You always dropping these super chats in, and I appreciate the
Thank you,
support.
Corey.
It really does help us get things. I bought my daughter a swing just the other day. It arrived, and she loves that thing. So we're doing good over here, and it's thanks to the community support and everything, especially you, Corey, for kicking in a lot this month. It was kind of crazy to me, really. So if you have any more specific questions, like for sure hit them at me, and as long as I get the moment to read it and respond, it's what I've chosen to do with my free time, and it's something that I just genuinely liked and I have liked since I was a kid. So it's less work, sometimes even I've heard people say don't do something you like you do and you won't work a day in your life. That's not true. I think you're still going to work doing what you like to do, but it's easier to do it because you intrinsically you're intrinsically motivated and you enjoy it. So I really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
And I appreciate y'all helping out, my G.
Yeah, this is a hell of a community for real. I remember you kind of joined after this whole debacle, but like I had this big issue last year where I was diagnosed with cancer, and so we had to like get. Luckily, my insurance company covered like the treatment, which was like crazy numbers, but I didn't have enough to like pay for all the travel, and so we did like this GoFundMe page. My sister started it, and the community, dude, this RPG Maker community came through and brought us $5,000 to pay for a place to stay in Manhattan while I was getting my cancer treatment. And so like I'll never forget that kindness that the whole community came through and just threw money at us to pay for that whole trip. That got us everything we needed through that time. And so I'm constantly like, if I can give back, I want to give back. I want to keep this boat floating, and keep this show going as long as I can. And it's people like you that keep it going. So I just want to say a big shout out to you today, Corey. Thank you so much, Toronto Gaming, for backing and supporting us in this community, and for your interest in RPG Maker, because I love teaching this thing. I love working on games, and I know it's a good creative outlet for a lot of people.
Well, I do appreciate it, bro. And like I said earlier, I do appreciate y'all actually taking the time out. Like, especially for somebody like me, most people be like, man, I can't really say what I say, but they be like, man, forget that person. You know
cool,
what I'm saying?
Corey. What are you talking about? You're cool.
Everybody has different walks of life and develops their own wisdom through. You can't just judge people. Anyway, I'm gonna mention everybody in the chat because this is a whole group. Love you guys so much. Psycho Gaming, Alexander Burkell, Yorkshire Pudding, new member Yorkshire. Thanks for joining the team. You get emojis for joining. I think it's like $5 a month or something to be a member on the channel. It was some weird YouTube gaming that they sent to me last minute right before they took down. They're like, hey, you're now eligible to have members of your channel and pay an additional fee. I'm like, sure, whatever. I set it up, and then YouTube gaming goes down.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I guess I don't have that service anymore, but then they migrated it over.
Right.
So I eventually, but not a lot of people know about that. You can become a member. It's like a $5 a month subscription, similar to the way that Twitch does its $5 a month subscriptions. Because on Twitch, you can follow someone for free, just like you can subscribe to them here. But if you subscribe to them on Twitch, then you're paying $5 a month or something like that.
Right.
And so over here, the YouTube is like a membership. That's a Twitch subscribe, essentially, is a membership here. But thank you so much, Yorkshire Pudding, Acos44, everybody who showed up, all of the people who are lurking in the chat, Cyphus, Vero Claw 23, Assumed Identity. Thank you so much for coming. Alexander Burkle, everybody, thank you so much for showing up for the AMA, for the questions. Devoted Bastion, anybody who I miss, Drag, Axel Rosetto, thank you so much. Alan Real, Elv Games, anybody else? Wrath of Wood, Peter Apple, the Real Tron, of course, and that's it. Love you guys so much. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Take care, Corey. Have a good one. Message me on Discord any other questions you have, and we'll just keep going through them. As well as tips and tricks is going to come later today, or I'll release it on the weekend. But I'll do it as soon as I get some more time, as soon as I can. It's basically done. I just got to record it and then put a bumper on it and put it out there. Maybe if I do it good enough, I'll do a one take and upload a 7-minute raw. But anyway, love you guys. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you Monday, 2:00 Eastern Standard Time.
Say. Hold on before you go.
Yeah,
You gotta go. Hold on. I want to say, hey, Coach, I don't know why you leaving, son, but you take care, and I appreciate everybody in the community. See y'all later, bro. Again, appreciate y'all with the help.
For sure, man. All right, guys, we're out.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.